Have you ever watched opinion leaders from the Insurtech and insurance space being surprised by all sorts of unexpected questions? No, right? And that's why we introduced InsurChat. Every episode features 3 guests that engage with each other on different topics than you're used to. A unique opportunity to get to know the brightest minds of Insurtech.
Yeah, hi everybody. My name is Peter Ohnemus. I'm the president and CEO of DIA in Switzerland. We are doing health engagement and health scoring. We are a business-to-business platform for the global life and health insurance industry. We have about 115 employees in 7 locations around the world.
Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Anita Rao. I am a practicing neurologist and also CEO and founder of NeuroCern. We are a neuroinformatics company that improves the quality of life for patients and families with neurological conditions. We are also a B2B platform, and we work with enterprise companies to provide medical insights into their population.
Hello, everybody. Great time for me being here in that call with Peter and Dr. Anisha. My name is Bernd Müller. I am working for SCOR, a tier 1 reinsurance company, and I've turned my hobby into my profession, and I'm responsible for the worldwide venture investments with a strong focus on life and health ventures. So trying to find partners that help us to develop together the future of life insurance.
So that's a very interesting question. The first time I got introduced to insurance, I was about 12 years old. I played soccer back in good old Denmark, where I grew up as a little boy, and somebody stole my brand new bicycle that I had received for my birthday. And I came home, I was completely crying. I had locked my bicycle, and my mother, who was a school teacher, told me there's something called insurance, and I'm sure they will get you a new bicycle, which they did.
First time I really got to learn insurance was actually as a medical provider. A lot of my patients need insurance sign-off before we can order any MRI or CT of the brain. And so I would often get pushback. So I never thought I'd be working on the insurance side of things, but here we are.
In fact, I grew up in a parental home that has always worked in the insurance industry. My father would be nowadays called an industry veteran who has worked for more than 32 years in the insurance industry. In this respect, I somehow came into contact with this topic very early on. But during my childhood, in fact, I had decided relatively early to become a winemaker, which was following the profession of my mother. It was only at the last minute that I managed to make the penning shot back into the most beautiful industry in the world.
And this was, I think 10 years ago. I was driving around in Vietnam with my wife, and I loved Vietnam. It was super interesting. And then I one day wanted to try the snake. And, the gentleman in this little restaurant was serving me the snake, which was living, of course, and then, cooking it on the pan. And I must be honest, this for me was a very different experience.
Wow, that sounds exciting and thrilling at the same time. For me, I really despise any type of food that requires me to dissect it, like anything like lobster, snail, crustaceans. No, thank you.
I have kind of same experience like Peter. During my career, I had the great opportunity to work for 1 year in South Korea. And I was invited to a client dinner where they served living octopus. And obviously, as it was a business dinner, I had to taste it. I couldn't shy away. And I can tell you, although it's been years since I tasted, I still have the taste in my mouth.
Oh my God, I feel so sad for you. This I couldn't have eaten. No, that beat it, the snake, I must admit. I met him when I was around 15 years old, and that's Alan Parker from the Oak Foundation. So he became very successful as an entrepreneur, and they sold their company, and he founded his Oak Foundation, which today is one of the most active donators for social issues all around the world. So for women's, liberation, to cancer research, to anything about the ocean worldwide. And Alan, for me, is a person who walks the talk, stays out of the press, and has just delivered so much good to so many people around the world.
For me, being a female entrepreneur, looking into other female entrepreneurs and inventors who really pushed the envelope when it came to science and invention. Recently, the Nobel Prize was given to two females who invented CRISPR, which is a genome editing discovery that was just made a few years ago. One of them was Jennifer Doudna and Emmanuelle Charpentier. So I really look up to them in terms of how they pushed the science and how they also really changed how genomics will be perceived for the rest of the century, the rest of the world.
Interesting. I was thinking quite a long time who would be my real life superhero, and I have to tell you, in fact, I came to the conclusion that my superheroes are my two kids. How they deal with the current pandemic in spite of their young years, wearing masks 6 hours a day in school, also during sports, is really impressive to me. And, they are still so positive and live their life in a good manner. That is really, really surprising to me, how they withstand and not complaining at all.
That is a beautiful choice. That is really very, very nice. I would say most likely that I want to go back to Greenland. I've been once on Greenland. For me, it was the most peaceful, unbelievable place to see, and just walk with my youngest daughter for hours with a backpack and seeing this amazing, where there's really nothing other than yourself and a lot of ice, but beautiful light. So I think that's, on my bucket list to do one more time.
I would love to do a yoga retreat in Bali, just because I'm really fascinated by Southeast Asia, and Bali's always been on my to-do list. In fact, I was almost going to go there right before COVID. So I'm waiting anxiously until everything gets better to go to Bali.
My answer must seem weird to you in the current situation, but in fact, it's really on the bucket list. Number one, it's Paris. I used to be there on the bi-weekly basis due to the fact that our headquarters is located there. And since March, I could not travel there anymore. I missed the city, I have to admit. My hotel was inside of Eiffel Tower. In the evening, one more round there, and then a glass of rosé. That's what I miss.
That's nice.
I like it. It's the wine coming back there, Bernd.
Again and again. So it was a pleasure talking to you.
It was great. Very good. And have a great conference, and hopefully you enjoyed our fun little talk here.
Bye-bye.